Jam on toast!
Hey there, welcome to the Jam. I'm Cameron. Today the toast is to Night Watch 2004. This is week 22 of hashtag We Are Movie Club. This week's pick was Charlie's. You can click there. We did go over a little bit of this over on the last Saturday hangout over on We Are Movie Club. You click the hashtag, go over to the channel. So the short sale on this is vampires fighting vampires. Ooh. My love it for this was honestly that the one woman vampire wanted to be human again. I thought that was kind of a touching moment and just a lot of chaos and craziness that I wasn't really into at the moment. What I have to say I don't like, even though I'm a big fan of the Anita Blake Vampire Hunter novels, is I don't like the humanization of vampires in this. We're really treating the vampires as superhuman beings instead of vampires. They don't seem as weak to their weaknesses, especially the bloodlust type thing. You'd think they'd just be jacking humans left and right, but they're just kind of living their own societal type thing without that aspect of it. And I'm used to more animalistic vampires. Even when they're civil or legal, they see humans as food, even if it's just a familiar or a donor or whatever. And it rubs me the wrong way. It's just a philosophy of vampires that I'm not on board with, and that's okay. The MVP for this was definitely the little kid. I'm not looking up his name, but he had the worst parts of the script. He could just wander around like an idiot. Look at the sign funny. Let your nose bleed. I figured the directional cues that kid got. It's no, just jump across the fire escape. It's okay. We've got all these mattresses down here to help you out. Let's go on to categories. Aesthetics. They did a lot of things right and a lot of things wrong. I think I mentioned this to Charlie. If you look at the short scale, they got a lot of cool scenes in there. They're let's do up this scene where we have energy fluctuating, and then we involve all these ravens and dancing in tornado. And it looked awesome. Not a real point of it being there, but if you compare it to the whole thing, overall quality production is not that great. A lot of dark, dingy scenes. Granted, we're dealing with vampires. A lot of them are running around in the dark. But come on, we could get a little better production quality, even from Russia. I spent a lot of time trying to read the subtitles, and the dialogue's not the best. So there was that. But I'm just saying, I think we could have got a little better overall quality, especially given the short scenes that they did so well. The rooftop scene where they're all battling, that takes a little bit to make happen. The elevator crashing through the roof was good. The scene where he's got the mirror and he's trying to fight the invisible vampire, I don't even know how that works, but hey, it was a cool idea and it worked really well. The thing with the gloom was okay. And again, just very brief periods of oh, that's pretty cool, and then we go back to weird craziness where it's hard to follow anything. I think I would give these same guys a good action movie. I don't know, say Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. I think they would do really well with it because those are movies that involve great single scenes and you just kind of thread them together. And I think it was really the threading on this that was all loose. But I don't know what else to say for it. 6 gets a 70. Character development. I don't know if it's I just didn't care who the characters were or what, but I'm thinking back on it and well, it's this person. I definitely don't know anybody's names. I thought I knew the bad guy, dark vampire or whatever, but no, I can't remember it, even though he had a cool bit to it. They develop it, and there's one very important thing as far as character development goes, and that's the very beginning in the prologue. That scene, which could have been a flashback at any point in the movie, just as long as we knew that happened, it would help clarify a later scene that I don't want to spoil. But it's definitely there. They went through the motion of it at least, and I don't know if it was that I didn't care about the characters in general, or that they didn't execute it properly. I don't know. It's one of the two, but they didn't quite get there to where they needed to be. Character development gets a 70. Storyline. I didn't follow the story at all here. We have two vampire types that freaking hate each other, and we've got the light vampires running around trying to save this kid so that he can make a choice whether or not he's going to be an enemy. And then we've got the dark vampires running around trying to pull him over to their side, which ultimately it's the light vampires that make the decision for the kid anyways, right? So, like, a lot of it's, like, the general structure is really, really loose. And then the whole execution throughout the whole movie is just kind of like, what are we doing? What's happening? And I didn't follow it. I didn't get the point. I didn't get any overall metaphor for it. If it's supposed to be, like, some metaphor for people balancing the light and dark within themselves. Storyline gets a 30. Compulsion. To me, and I didn't have any personal attachment to it like you did, Charlie, but it's barely watchable. I'm not saying it's not watchable. And again, it has some cool scenes, but like I would almost go through that, pull the scenes out, and be like, look, you need to watch these scenes. These are so cool. These are definitely worth being on these guys' resume, and it's going to prove that they can do another movie. They just need to be able to do it a little better. So, like, it's not without benefits, but I didn't feel like it was worth me watching and having to read subtitles the whole time. In fact, a lot of times I just was like, hey kitty, what's up? Whatever. And I would come back and be like, okay, they're doing this now. And I probably missed something, but the fact that I didn't care at the time, and I almost didn't, I did fall asleep at one point, and I almost didn't go back and watch it, but I was like, you know what? It's important to Charlie, I'm sure. Let me go back and try to watch it. And I still didn't get anything out of it, so it's not the fact that I was tired, but it's a lot of like, I wanted it to be something, and I just never got there. Compulsion gets a 20. Now, if you total all that up, you get an average of 47.5. For my rep review, I've got to say the bottom line is I just can't get behind this one. I can't recommend it to anybody, and unless you just really want to see vampires fight each other in Moscow, I can't see a lot of reason to watch this particular movie. I would like to see them take some ideas and go in, and you know what? And I'll tell you what, I'll be willing to watch the sequel. I believe it's called Daywatch, but it does make me kind of desperate for, like, even Blade or Queen of the Damned or Dracula, any version. Maybe even Val Helsing. Go watch a vampire movie I'm more comfortable with, and hell, even break open an Anita Blake book. Which I need to get caught up on that. But this has been a review for hashtag We Are Movie Club. This week's pick was Charlie. Due to some technical reasons, he got to go this week, so I'm actually going to take in fill the gap next week with Riley Rewind. I'm going to go ahead and include a link in the description, or you can click my face if you want to go over to that playlist directly, but it is on YouTube. Riley Rewind is the first production of Runaway Planet. That's the studio. Check out Charlie when you get a chance. He's got good stuff going on. He's always getting better, so go check him out. Be sure to click the hashtag if you want to go see what kind of other stuff we're up to, because we're going to get some new stuff on We Are Movie Club, and it's going to be great. So that's it for me. I'm Cameron. If you don't like me, bite me. If you want to see anything else we're up to, go ahead and click the annotations, and they'll take you to our other channels.